I think I did. The doctor was, how do you call this? The doctor was giving his expertise on what she was saying. Okay, from CNN. Let's see here. 1 minute and 42 seconds. Let's listen.
That's what they're doing now.
So, Dr. Reiner, pardon my ignorance on this. If somebody has surgery, and then the cancer is discovered after that surgery, is it because tissue from whatever the area of the surgery, in this case the abdomen, would be taken out and tested, or would it be? Is it possible that it would be cancer somewhere else in the body that would somehow show up in a blood test or something?
Well, with all respect to the royal family, that kind of press release doesn't make a lot of medical sense. When people undergo extensive surgery, they just don't go in for typically anymore for quote exploratory surgery. All of these operations are preceded by extensive imaging like CAT scans and MRIs. So the surgical team would have a very good understanding of what was likely to be the problem, and that would be confirmed by pathology. So a piece of the tissue removed, whatever the organ is, or the organ removed, or intestine, for instance, that goes directly to the pathology lab, often during the surgery, and sometimes whether something is cancer or not will dictate the extent of the actual operation. So it's very likely that the surgical team knew or had a good sense of what this was going to be prior to surgery, and that was confirmed at the time of pathologic testing during the operation. So this is something that would have at least been suspected before and confirmed during the operation.
Okay, so that's that. Let's move on. Next tweet. Even the doctor is, whatever she said. I never really saw the original video of her talking. It's just that CNN video. Okay, next tweet. Now let's discuss what presumably allegedly seemed to be an AI video. Are we supposed to just accept their BS as well without question? Doctor sees some hole in her explanation. What are they trying to hide from the world? Okay, I put this after the CNN video because there's Peter Hunt here who tweeted this. I'm gonna go into that and then come back out because that was my tweet. Okay, let's pause. Victoria Newton, editor of The Sun, on BBC, Laura K. Quote, of course, I was in discussion with the palace all along, and there was no problem with us running those images, and it kind of felt that the nation was desperate to see her. They're on social media too much. Okay, responding to social media, but whatever. Okay, so he retweeted that as well. There won't be a photo of William and Kate shopping on the front pages if editors weren't confident they won't kick up. Okay, has Kensington Palace said anything? Not a word. Okay, so that's a thread again. So I'm going into that. So I'm into two different tweets now. So there's that here. Now this is 2 minutes and 48 seconds. Let's see here.
Well, I think what's really fascinating is I think actually the battle that is going on is within William. There are two completely understandable characteristics of his that are at play at the moment and are battling with each other. So there's the William who is understandably obsessed with privacy. He's obsessed with the privacy of his family. He's obsessed with the privacy of his wife, and he's obsessed with history not repeating itself.
I don't know, Mr. Peter. I truly have a lot of respect for him. But I guess for himself, he want that respect, but he didn't want to give Harry that sort of respect. It's Harry who has been putting that line ever since I was aware. There's so many videos of him asking for that privacy. I never come across where William is doing that. I guess because he's the heir, it was automatically to give him that respect. But knowing what I know now, since Harry married Meghan, and then to the extent that William went to invade, to allow the paper, those journalists, the paparazzi, to go and invade his brother's privacy.
have been, as we know, is that the Mail on Sunday had the ruling against them in February, and they were then appealing it. So it was lawyers from the Mail on Sunday who would have approached Jason Naff, knowing that these emails and messages existed. That would have been the point, unless, I mean, the most likely outcome is that Jason obviously would have then gone to William and Kate, and clearly he has cooperated. He would not have cooperated with those lawyers without their definite knowledge.
And I guess this is why he didn't want his brother to be to give the speech, because if all of this are in Harry's mind, even though I don't think Harry will do that, okay, because Harry has a profound respect for the institution, so I don't think he will be doing whatever crazy thing that William has in his brain. William will do that to Harry, okay? But anyway, William wants privacy, but he doesn't give it to his brother. Look at to the extent that he went with Simon Case and all of that. Okay, so let's continue. I'm gonna move it back.
Who is understandably obsessed with privacy. He's obsessed with the privacy of his family. He's obsessed with the privacy of his wife, and he's obsessed with history not repeating itself with his mother, Diana, Princess of Wales. But that is in conflict in the last few weeks with the other aspect of William. And when I did his first broadcast interview, he was a student 20 years ago. And in that interview, the bit that's always stuck in my mind is he said, "I hate losing control." And that aspect.
You see the thing that I was saying here? To have control of things. I was just saying it at the beginning of this video when I was reading some excerpt from Spare. Okay, the order. Okay, you see when you look at architecture, you see all those lines, the the columns, they are in a specific way. Your eyes is direct. You know the pattern of things, right? So when things is in chaos, they go crazy. They don't know how to control things. So there it is. He's saying that. That's stuck in his brain since he did an interview with him 20 years ago. Okay? So now that he doesn't have control of Harry, this is why he's bombarding Harry with all of these things. He's going crazy over there. Because the control he thought he had of Harry, meanwhile, Harry just, at the time when he was working royal, he just lay it low, follow the institution thing. But when it's time to protect his own family, Harry's family, his little family, his child, at that time, only Archie, and his wife, okay? Once you cross that line of Harry, he was done with the institution. But meanwhile, William think doing all this stuff is to have control of Harry. That's not gonna happen. All right, I'm moving it back slightly again. This is very interesting. I need to record this by itself so I have it. Let me bookmark it. Okay,
did his first broadcast interview. He was a student 20 years ago. And in that interview, the bit that's always stuck in my mind is he said, "I hate losing control." And that aspect of control has driven his life as a senior royal as he heads towards his destiny of being king. And in the last few weeks, he has lost control. And so I think it's that bit of it has then led us to the Mother's Day picture and the consequences of that. Having the British monarchy referenced in the same breath as North Korea and Iran is not a good step, is it? When the picture agencies talked about killing it. But we've also...
It was always like that. It was always like that. When you look at the deals, the people, the interaction that they're doing, they were always like that. It's just now, it's revealing, I guess, the control that he's having. Make it now, there's a verbal aspect of it. Someone said it. And then we could see it. We could connect things, their behavior with what someone outside of the institution, AP, had said about them.
Also, come on to discuss what we've seen overnight into today, whereby we have the pictures of them on the front page of The Sun, on the front page of the Daily Mail, of them shopping. I mean, they had an absolute expectation of privacy when they went shopping. That cannot be debated or argued. And those pictures would not have appeared on those papers if the editors of those papers weren't reasonably confident that William and Kate wouldn't kick up if they were published. And has Kensington Palace said anything since? Not a word.
Well, the thing is that I guess this is why he was saying there's a tweet that he put out about privacy or something, and I don't know. I think I shared it. I don't remember. But the thing is that this is the narrative that they were trying to put. Okay, this is why they threw it to TMZ. TMZ is a connection of Murdoch, but it's mostly in the US. They make it seem like it is the US part, but it's still the same group of people, the connection. He threw it in the US because this is the group that wanted to see it. But the thing is that people look closer and start asking questions, and then it's a manufactured nonsense. All right, debunk him even more. The scripted, the entertainment thing.
If the editors of those papers weren't reasonably confident that William and Kate wouldn't kick up if they were published. And has Kensington Palace said anything since? Not a word.
So that's so interesting, because there is kind of a variety of different theories about that. Is that one, that maybe a photographer had been tipped off, it might be a good idea to have someone with a camera outside this farm shop in Windsor. You're not saying that. You're saying, look, it may have well have been a random photo that someone just picked up, but that the papers would not have run it if there was serious pushback.
When I was sharing that video of William and that supposedly Kate that he was working with, before I showed the video, I believe I did a TMZ thing where this former employee of TMZ went to court regarding Johnny Depp case and explained how TMZ works.
I was the go-between the news desk in the office and the reporters in the field, which you might know as paparazzi.
Approximately how many paparazzis were you in charge of?
At the time, it was about 20 in LA, a handful, maybe 3 in New York, and then 1 in DC.
And what were your responsibilities specifically as to the paparazzi?
It would be to dispatch paparazzi to various locations based on tips or just direction dictated by having a list of sort of hot spots where celebrities would be.
And how were those tips received?
They were received either through tips that we received through our tip line or directly through news producers in the office.
And were tips frequently received directly from sources?
Very often the case, yeah.
And who were the type of sources that TMZ received tips from?
They would receive tips from, oftentimes it would be publicists, managers, agents, or B-list celebrities.
Lawyers?
And lawyers, definitely.
How are tips verified?
Tips are verified by an extensive process. If they come in through our tip line, we have to verify who sent it, that the source is truthful, and so they have to add their contact information, which is a field in that on that website for like name, phone number, things like that.
And how long did that process typically take?
If we receive a tip through the tip line, it could take a while because that would need to be, if it was a tip, we would need to verify it. If it was media, such as photos or videos, that would need to be extensively verified to ensure that the person sending it is the copyright holder and that we would have the legal ability to air it and distribute it.
And while working for TMZ, were you involved in any assignments related to Ms. Heard?
I was.
What was the first time you recall working on an assignment related to Ms. Heard?
I believe it was May 27th, 2016.
And what was your role in that assignment?
For that, Ms. Heard was filing a restraining order at a courthouse in downtown Los Angeles. So I dispatched camera people to that location.
Under what circumstances would you normally send paparazzi to a courthouse?
Only if we had been informed prior. It's not by any means a celebrity hotspot. We would only ever send people there if we had been tipped off that something was occurring and there was somebody present there.
And what footage was TMZ trying to capture at the LA courthouse on May 27th, 2016?
We were trying to capture Amber leaving the courthouse and an alleged bruise on the right side of her face.
What was your team of paparazzi supposed to do while they were at the LA courthouse on May 27th, 2016?
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay and foundation.
What were they supposed to do?
Right. She's asking for, I don't think there's a foundation or
I'll
hearsay.
overrule the objection at this point. I'll see.
Go ahead, Mr. Tremaine.
Can you state the question again?
What was your team of paparazzi supposed to do while they were at the Los Angeles courthouse on May 27th, 2016?
Their objective was to capture her leaving the courthouse, and then she was going to sort of stop and turn towards the camera to display the bruise on the right side of her face, the alleged bruise.
Did your team of videographers get the shot of Amber Heard?
We did.
Whoa.
What is the difference between receiving a tip from a news producer and any other source?
If it's any other source, it would have to be verified by copyright. If it was anything that was received directly through a news producer, then they go through that process to verify the source.
Did you do anything to verify the tip on May 27th, 2016 related to Amber Heard?
I did not,
Why not?
because it had come directly from a news producer.
I love good news. Love good news. I just love good news.
Okay, and then you could see in that video, this was really scripted kind of thing. When William appeared on the video, the first thing, he knew the guy was there. He looked at the camera. Okay, and then he continued his walking, pretend or whatever. So that was something that they deliberately wanted to do. They did it, and he knew of it. And then this is why they let it go to TMZ, just to put it in the American market.
Good afternoon and welcome to the BBC News at 1. Kensington Palace has confirmed moving images taken by a member of the public and published by The Sun. Kensington Palace has confirmed moving images taken by a member of the public. Kensington Palace has confirmed moving images taken by a member of the public and published by The Sun of Catherine, the Princess of Wales, on a shopping trip with Prince William in Windsor. The Princess has been out of public sight since Christmas after having abdominal surgery.
And it create more problem for him. Again, I move it back.
Random photo that someone just picked up, but that the papers would not have run it if there was serious pushback from the palace.
Well, I think we can contrast it, can't we, with never have we spoken so much about photographs of one woman. But if we contrast it with the pap picture of the Princess of Wales, Kate, with her mother, that was shown internationally but didn't appear in any UK publication. And it's pretty clear that Kensington Palace made it pretty clear to the editors involved that they would very much rather it wasn't used.
Nah. Because the internet is talking, they already have control of the UK. That's the thing here. They already have control of the UK. They want to convince, that's the part here, outside of the UK. This is why it wasn't printed in the UK. But they want to convince specifically the US market. This is where they're gonna make another mistake again, because they're so eager to force feed Americans like myself to believe them. That's the thing here. They want us to believe them, and then instead it's nonsense after nonsense. They keep being called out. Okay, so this is done. Let me read some of the comment here. Let's pause this. Okay, to protect his privacy, William has tell lies, feed his boy and sister to the wolves. This is what I was saying. Collaborates with the media that contribute to his mother's death, bring out his kids on demand, hide behind his wife, use his mother's name to deflect blame, disrespect his monarch every chance he gets. Alright, so there's that. Here, William is the biggest hypocrite. There is a symbiotic relationship between the British royals and newspapers. The royals need to be visible and to be shown in the best possible light, whereas the newspaper requires stories guaranteed to generate reader interest. He is obsessed with the privacy of his wife and children, but will give out information about his sister-in-law. Oh, spare us. I'm telling you. And the other thing, as I was listening to Peter Hunt and this interview here, and I'm starting to, oh, there's more. I'm starting to realize that hypnotism, that they have control over people, no matter, I mean, it's hard, especially when you grew up in these things, in this environment, this type of government system. The hypnotism, it goes beyond the smartest people. The smartest people who you thought would have get the simplest thing, but it seems like they lure them into. And wow, that's all I could say. Just wow. Let me read bottom up. This will be the last one. Okay, let's see here. Hunt delivered an excellent personality assessment of William's trait and need for control and dominance. I mean, I said that already a long time ago, since the spare came out, when Harry was explaining the beauty of Meghan, the symmetry and all of that. And then through that, I was able to put one and one together to say how the institution liked everything to be in order. People have to be in line so their eyes could be fixed to a certain way. When they see people moving around in different direction, it's chaotic to them. Okay? And they don't have control of people when people are moving all over. But when there's an order and everything, yes, they feel at ease. They could do whatever it is that they want. They want a pattern of things. Okay? A systematic pattern so they know how to move and things like that. And this is, I could see the pattern too. But anyway, okay, I read this. Hunt delivers an excellent personality assessment of William's trait and need for control and dominance. Similarly, we can see how William violates his own brother's right to privacy and to future happiness. The duality of William control versus dysregulated is disquieting. Prince William will unleash blasts of anger on Father Charles, who meekly listened. New book, Prince William, Robert Lacey writes, had contentious relationship with his father, who never measured up in his son's eye as a wonderful parent. That's for them to deal with. Because then Charles has the same thing, same issue with his parents. So there, your heir has the same issue with you. Okay. What is that? I read that. He is obsessed with privacy. Spare us. Okay, so now this video. BBC News at 1 began by saying Kensington Palace confirmed the images. Yeah, because and TMZ played them too. What TMZ did, they waited until the BBC gave the green light, let the people know that the video is good, is okay. And then right after, TMZ stepped out of the limelight and said, look, we look at it a little bit closer, it's fake.
Times I've looked at this video so often, and yeah, my gut was it was her. But then I started looking at some of the comments and things that people are posting about why they don't think it's her. And they have some points about her height compared to William, where her eye line is when she's looking at him normally, some things about her chin. There are a lot of different details that people have picked out, even in the way this woman walks. Now I'm not, before I would say I was 95%. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, that's her. And it certainly looks like William. But even the William, some people are picking apart that maybe it's not him. There's endless mystery behind this thing. And the bigger question is, if it's not her, then again, we're left with where is Kate? And what is going on with her? So, and why would the palace be involved, if they are, in another sort of hoax to make us think that Kate is okay? Because there was the Mother's Day photo was such a blunder. Why would they do it again? Which is what made me think at first it was her, because there's no way they do that again. They got caught the first time, they wouldn't do it again.
I feel like every woman in London and in England are lining up to be a Kate Middleton stunt double or like that model, everything. I mean, what do you think needs to happen at this point, Charles?
They didn't say it like that, but that's my interpretation. And they don't want to be how do you call it, like be sued in the US for posting false, you know, I don't know, it's not defamation, like false information to the public. Okay, 20 seconds.
Good afternoon and welcome to the BBC News at 1. Kensington Palace has confirmed moving images taken by a member of the public and published by The Sun of Catherine, the Princess of Wales, on a shopping trip with Prince William in Windsor. The Princess has been out of public sight since Christmas after having abdominal surgery.
Alright, it's playing again. Alright, so we find out that video from TMZ is fake as well. It's not the real Kate. Next tweet.